This lesson, we're going to take a look at something called the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. Your goal is to understand how the Pythagorean theorem can be used in reverse, or basically backwards. Let's do a few examples so that makes a little more sense. Now first, let's talk about what the converse of the Pythagorean theorem is. It states that if the equation a squared plus b squared equals c squared, the Pythagorean theorem, is true for the side lengths of a triangle, then the triangle is a right triangle. Okay, so basically, like I said, we're using it backwards. What we used to do is we used to be given a right triangle, they'd give us some of the side lengths, and we'd use the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side length. Here we're doing the opposite. Here we're given all the side lengths, we're plugging them into the Pythagorean theorem to prove or disprove that something's a right triangle. Okay, let's walk through it. Here I've got an example triangle down here, 3 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters, and down in the bottom left corner, something that looks like it might be a right triangle, but it's not labeled with the little square. Which means this could or could not be 90 degrees. It might be 89 degrees or 91, we're not sure. So we're going to use the converse of the Pythagorean theorem to figure it out. Now first thing we need to do is establish which one's A, B, and C. Now C, of course, is the important one, the hypotenuse. But since we don't have a right angle to work with, we basically want to identify the hypotenuse in another way, which was that the hypotenuse is always the longest measurement of the three, which is the 6. So we'll label that one the hypotenuse. Which means 5 and 3 are the legs, A and B. And don't forget, when I put them in the formula, which one's A, which one's B, it doesn't matter. They're interchangeable. So I can just plug them in like this. 3 squared plus 5 squared, does it equal 6 squared? Well, if we do the math, 3 squared is 9, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, and if we add 9 plus 25, we get 34. 34 does not equal 36, so no. This is not a right triangle, and I cannot label this as a 90-degree angle.